Hey everybody, Ben here. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. If it doesn't resonate, don't make it fit. Only take what works for you. I'll connect here and we'll see what comes through. Heard that bells are ringing song. I think it's a Christmas song. By the Eagles, maybe? See a crow. Was over like a mountain vista, but now it's like on a street pole lamp. Stealing berries. Taking it back to its owner at the windowsill. The individual it was stealing them for it's kind of laughing in an evil way. So laughing at society for like falling for the foolishness. Of the Christmas spirit. This is interesting. Definitely a Scrooge-like vibe. Seeing an old style computer computing a bunch of numbers. This is interesting. I don't know if I'll post this one. What do we got here, Spirit? Eight of Cups reversed. Clinging to the past. When we look at just in general, like let's look at family traditions and behaviors in general. I think the word tradition is pretty strong here. Just going back to that whole Christmas idea of how things were when we were kids. Obviously, things in the world have evolved and changed much different since I was a kid. And obviously, people grow up, people make their own families, people do things differently. And we also expand and learn a lot and see things a lot differently if we are on that path versus the rest of society. What else here, Spirit? Nine of Pentacles. Self-sufficiency. Going back to this whole traditional thing, could also use the word cultural, of maybe leaving a family unit and all the family might be implied that they're all very dependent on each other for many different things, not just this interaction and attention, this external validation, but also this image of tradition, holidays in general, that this is what we always did, and it's when we get together and how we fulfill ourselves through each other versus being able to fill our own cup through ourselves. Maybe you've walked away from a family unit and have never been happier, but they see it differently. Nine of Cups, fulfillment. I could see that as very well possible if you have, stepped away from these traditions. Maybe it was a draining situation. Ace of Cups, awakening. Awakening to the truth and the fact of things. Maybe you were the star, the energy holder, while others had to utilize you to create. I don't know why the word dysfunction came into my mind. Maybe the black sheep blame you for everything when really you are the light that and the glue that held everything together and propelled them forward. Really feeling dumping all the trauma onto you to transmute because they don't want to deal with it themselves. And by leaving that tradition or that circuit, that energy is now used for you and not their benefit. Nine of Wands, fortitude, building those walls and those boundaries up that can't be penetrated. We left a vulnerable state to now a solid foundation, built walls that they can't penetrate. I don't know what the old computer with the money was about. What's that about, Spirit? Oh, I'm getting the idea like the family was they were the thieves, painting this image of like the fun little Christmas time when really it was more of like an energy harvesting thing. But I don't know about the money with the computer. I'm not saying people were stealing. I'm just hypothetically trying to put this metaphor together. King of Swords, rational. To be very rational with our money, keeping an eye on things. Maybe they're concerned about it. Your money, pocket watching. That's annoying. That's very annoying. It's like they don't have anything else better to do. I don't care for gossipy readings, but that's what comes through. The Empress, nurturing soul. This is probably who you were, or probably still are. They're just not getting it. Always came to you to be filled up and rejuvenated, yet you've pulled back. Because what's the point when you don't get anything out of it? If you're just drained all the time. There's feel called to talk about like the true empath, and I'll just wait here and talk about it quick. It's like a true empath, obviously we're picking up other energies that aren't ours, and we can carry a lot of that if we're not aware of it and kind of take ownership of it. But there's two ways to look at this. You can be a true empath with empathy or not. So all these manipulators that people title different ways, people that do mean and horrible things to us in relationships, whether family, friends, or work, they can almost be a psychic empath, but they have no empathy, so they're using it for their own personal gain. They can see, just like the other style empath, they can see their pain and whatnot, and they try to nurture and help them heal those things. But if you picture it, I don't want to call it, but I think people normally say a narcissist, something like that, that's feeding off this energy of others. Yes, they are doing that. They have, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm assuming they have to the same extent of ability. as the psychic empath, but they're using it for their own personal gain, selfish versus actually having emotions for other people's happiness or pain. Like they'd celebrate someone winning or motivate them, and they care for them and they feel their pain and all those type of things versus just siphoning it. Now, I don't know if that's all true. I don't focus on the negative mindsets as much as the positive ones. Nine of Swords reversed, self-compassion, having compassion for the self. It's talking about the empath of putting everybody else first and making sure that everyone else is satisfied and contained and happy. Instead, we are putting ourselves first, filling our cup, which, when you really think about it, if you continuously give from an empty cup, as in we're not filling our cup at all, we'll burn ourselves out, we'll run ourselves dry. And then we'll look back and say, well, I helped all these people, what the hell's going on? And we want to blame, but in reality, it was our own fault for not having good boundaries and putting ourselves first, and instead others, which was probably worked out of a wound at some point. Page of Swords reversed. Better judgment. Of course. It took a while, but now we can see things for what they are. And this is a liberating experience. Of course, the past will be upset about it, and there'll be a good bit of resistance moving forward. A lot of blame game. Woe is me coming at you, but you have to stay the course, and once you fully embody that energy, nothing can stop you. One last card here, Spirit. Justice, karma. I call karma an experience for an experience, good or bad. Of course, we all want people to get punished. That's what a lot of people are focused on. Why don't we just focus on what comes for it for you? Something good. I did this work. I healed this wound. I did this. And since we're in the material, we think it's all material. But there's a lot more that goes on in here. And this is way more powerful than any material. Because if that material disappeared, what would you have? You'd have nothing inside. I think I said this a while ago. Let's look at, say you could change a timeline. And you could go anywhere. But everything that you know is being lost. Every person, place, or thing is gone. Going to a different year. You don't know anybody. What would you want? A lot of people, the first thing that comes to mind is material. I want a lot of money. I want a big house. I want a big car. I want a hot, beautiful partner. But when you go there, and you go there with all your wounds, that shit's not going to matter. You're still going to be, sad or depressed or not self-confident, no self-worth, insecure with that hot partner, that they're going to go run off with somebody else. Yeah, I can have a fancy car, but what does it get me? More hot partners, makes me look cool, big house, tons of money, yachts, all these things. But if we still have all those insecurities and self-limiting beliefs and thought patterns, depression or anxiety, what is all that going to do? It's not going to make any of that go away. We're still going to have it. We're still going to have to self-medicate or distract ourselves from the pain that's inside. So it's really something to think about. If I could jump a timeline and I lose everything, what would I want? Would I want a strong foundation inside that no matter what happens in the external, it won't shake me? I think you would. Granted, it's another viewpoint, it's another way to look at things, and it's another way that we can direct our current focus, our day-to-day, that doesn't cost anything. We don't have to work more. We do it through ourselves. It's free, okay? And what you get out of it is something so much more. And once you're in that place, you're in that vibration, all these things unfold. And you find out what you truly do want, not this facade of what makes other people look happy. So I'll leave it there. I wish you guys all the best. If you liked it, feel free to like, comment, share, or subscribe, and I will talk to you later.